Hey, so I want to run you through certain foods you want to be eating, including into your diet to lower your high blood pressure. Now, what if I told you the food actually on your plate, okay, has more control over your blood pressure than pills do? Pills that you're probably getting subscribed, okay? I'm not kind of exaggerating. The right foods don't just help a little bit. They physically relax arteries and put out the fire that's stiffening them, okay? And they feed the one organ nobody almost connects to the high blood pressure, which is your gut. Now, by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what to eat, what you should be eating, what works. And I'm going to explain it quite simply, okay? So you never forget this, right? This is a masterclass I wish I knew every man over sort of 40 got handed to them maybe at the doctor's surgery. All right. So let's kind of dive into it. You can pop some questions down below in the chat here and I can get back to you. So here's the kind of big picture. Okay. To lower your blood pressure with food, you're sort of pulling three levers. Okay. One, okay, open up the pipes. Two, put out the fire. And then three, feed the garden. Just going to try and make it as simple as possible. Now, get these three right, and the numbers come down on their own. Okay, and let me dive into sort of each one. Now, lever one. When I said it, explaining how to open up the pipes, what I kind of mean is think of your arteries like a garden hose. When the hose is relaxed and wide, water flows through quite easily, and that pressure it stays low. Right now, when it's stiff and clamped, and the water has to force its way through and the pressure shoots up. That's blood pressure in kind of one picture. All right. How do you relax the hose? Okay. There's a molecule called nitric oxide. Okay. It's your body's natural signal to widen arteries and let blood flow travel through freely. Okay. And there are certain foods that are basically nitric oxide factories. Now, here's a few top of the list. You got things like beetroot, dark leafy greens, spinach, rocket. What else is there? Swiss chard's quite a good one. These are loaded with natural nitrates that your body converts into nitric oxide. Look, even studies have shown a glass of beetroot juice can measurably drop blood pressure within kind of hours, right? It's like spraying WD-40, if you know what that is, on the hinge of a door. All right. Okay. So beetroot, a big handful of greens every day. That's lever one. Now, lever two, putting out the fire. And here's what almost no one tells you about high blood pressure. It's often a sign of low grade inflammation. Imagine a fire quietly smoldering inside your blood vessels. Not a blaze, but just a constant smoldering. Yeah. Over years, that heat damages and stiffens your vessel walls, right? So they can't just relax the way that we kind of talked about. Your job is to be a firefighter. And these foods are pretty much the water to put it out. So you got things like berries, like blueberries, blackberries, strawberries. The deep color comes from compounds called polyphenols, okay? And they're some of the most powerful anti-inflammatories pretty much on the planet. I spend a lot of money on berries, to be honest. Then you got things like extra virgin oil, real peppery, good quality oil. That that peppery kick at the back of your throat, that's a compound that acts like a natural anti-inflammatory. Okay, pretty much drizzle on everything. Don't go too mad of it because you can overeat. And then you've got the fatty fish like your salmon, mackerel. It's a huge one. Sardines is a huge one. Anchovies. Okay. I mean, we'll come back to why those are special in a second, but they're the firefighters too. All right. Now, a few bonuses like turmeric, a little bit of dark chocolate. The real stuff, by the way, 85% dark chocolate. Yeah, like I said, your berries, your oily fish. That's how you put the fire out. Then you got lever free, feed the garden. Okay. Now, this is the one that might surprise you because inside your gut, you've got trillions of sort of bacteria. All right. Think of them as the garden. Okay. When the garden is healthy and thriving, the good bacteria, it produce compounds that actually help regulate your blood pressure. When it's overgrown with weeds, okay, from processed foods, sugar, alcohol, maybe smoking, the whole system goes haywire. Yeah. And your gut is essentially the second brain. Okay. And it's quietly running the show. How do you tend to feed the garden? There's two things. Usually you give it sort of fertilizer and seeds. All right. So the fertilizer for us is like fiber, specifically soluble kinds like you got your oats, your beans, lentils, chia seeds, psyllium. These are foods your body needs for good bacteria and your body loves it. Okay. And when you eat it, they produce compounds that keep your arteries calm. Now, the seeds are fermented foods, all right, like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi. These plants, if they're fresh, a good bacteria, okay, directly into the garden, okay? Feed the garden daily, a bowl of oats and beans, spoon of kefir, and you're working on your blood pressure from the inside, okay? You're not papering over cracks with medication. Now, let me circle back to those oily fish because omega-3 deserves its own moment here. But think of omega-3, it's like an oil that keeps everything supple. If lever one is opening the hose, omega-3 is what stops the hose drying out, okay, and cracking in the first place. It calms inflammation and it keeps your body flowing kind of smoothly. Now, the best sources are things like I mentioned, salmon, mackerel, sardines, anchovies. The smaller oily fish, 2 or 3 portions a week, because again, you can overeat these, they are quite high in calories. Now, if you don't eat fish, like things like walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, okay, they're your plant-based kind of backups. I guess, one quiet hero here is that works alongside all that is potassium. Picture a seesaw. On one side, you've got salt, it pushes blood pressure kind of up. On the other side, you've got potassium, okay, which brings it back down. Most men are drowning in salt, okay, starving of potassium. Now, by the way, salt is not bad. If your body is not metabolically efficiently healthy and you're overeating loads of carbs and loads of crap, then salt is a problem. But in general, salt does not high your blood pressure, just to clear that up. Um, so the fix is things like avocado, sweet potato, bananas is high in potassium, beans, and yet those leafy greens again. What does a day actually look like? Let me make it kind of dead simple. Let's dive into a bit of a day. All right. I'll give you a bit of an example. Let me think. So again, this is all dependent on each person. So breakfast, you might have oats with berries, spoon of chia, dollop of kefir, could be Greek yogurt as well. So you've just fed the garden to put out the fire all in one pretty much nice bowl. And then, for example, for lunch, you can have a big leafy green salad, olive oil drizzled over, beetroot on the side, tin of sardines or some salmon on top. Lever one, lever two, and the Amiga, that's done. Really, really simple, guys. Yeah. And then dinner could be a palm of protein. I love ribeye steak. Don't be scared of red meat. Half a plate of vegetables, sweet potato for your potassium, fiber. Okay, and you pretty much got a whole plate there. As you can see, you're not on a miserable diet here. You're eating real food that happens to quietly fix the root cause of your blood pressure. That's pretty much the masterclass of opening up your pipes with nitric oxide food. Put out the fire of anti-inflammatories, feed the garden with the fiber and the fermented food, okay, and keep it supple, okay, with the omega-3s. Okay, I hope that all kind of makes sense. So if you do this consistently and you give your body the raw materials to bring that number down, okay, you don't need medication. All right. Food, as you can see, is the lever. All right. So there are a few others that work with it, and I'll break those down maybe in a different video. But if this has made science finally click for you, all I ask, subscribe, because everything here is all about fixing the root cause of high blood pressure and not chasing symptoms. Now, just to finish, just these foods alone won't help. You need to start training. You need to do some lab work. There's many different things you need to start doing, but nutrition is the first thing you want to be starting to fix up. All right. But cool, subscribe, chuck a comment in the bottom. And by the way, there is a description in the bottom. If you want help with reversing your high blood pressure, because we've helped 3,000 plus men do this, there is an application there if you want to start your preventive strategy. Okay. Happy to talk to you. There's an application. Go fill it in. There is an option to book a call on that same page as well. And hopefully we get to chat soon. Take care.